Welcome. You know what time it is. You're excited. I'm excited. It's the last episode of TBR Trials, and we're playing Scrabble. TBR Trials, you know it, you love it. There's a playlist. Click on it. I'm trying out a new TBR game every month for 5 months, and then picking something to implement in the new year. So this is the final TBR game that we are trying. Scrabble as a TBR game is not new. I know specifically Jackie Reads and Writes does this as her TBR game, so I will link her down below. She has like actual rules and stuff. I tried not to take any of those into consideration when thinking about this trial version of it. Basically, we're just going to play a normal one-person game of Scrabble, 5 rounds. That's what I've been doing for all of them, and we'll just see how it goes. Obviously, if I decide to use this as the actual game, there's a lot of things you can do with points per word, so I will be counting how many of those would be just to gauge like what am I looking for as a ballpark of a score. Because this is the last episode, I would really appreciate if you could comment below which of the 5 games that we played was your favorite, and I will take that into consideration when making my decision. Ready to play? I think we're ready to play. All right, let's see how this goes. Let's do 7 letters. All right, I'm going to play Snide, which would be worth 6 points. Okay, 1 down, 4 to go. All right, so the first word is snide, as in like a rude comment that someone would make. And for that, I have chosen Never Saw Me Coming by Vera Kurian. This is a story about a girl who is accepted into a university on the basis of her being a psychopath. And she's in a group with a bunch of other psychopaths, and then one of them shows up dead. Really excited about this book. I think it actually works really well for the prompt. Psychopaths aren't exactly known for being personable, and it sounds really good. So I'm excited. I'm going to play for points Towns, which the W here is on a triple letter. So that's 12, 13, 14, 15. 16 points. So for towns, I had a bit of a hard time with it actually, just because it's plural towns. Like I immediately thought of a small town cozy mystery vibe or a small town romance, but what I've decided on is No Exit by Taylor Adams, because this is about a road trip. What do you do on a road trip? You hit a bunch of little towns and a bunch of little rest stops, except in this book there is someone kidnapped that you find in another car at the rest stop, and you're snowed in. I really don't know much about this book, but it's huge. Everyone loves it. It sounds like it's going to be my thing. And I think it was Meg with Books just recently mentioned that this is technically a Christmas book because it takes place on the 23rd of December. That sounds close enough. I'll let you know after I read it, but I'm extremely excited about this one. Let's do Pride, which has 2 double letter scores, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 points. Pride is a really easy prompt. I don't really have to think very hard about it. It's an LGBTQ plus author, and for that, I'm going to be reading Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. I know that in my haul I said I would be reading this immediately, but I didn't. I got sidetracked by some other stuff, but now we're back on track with this gorgeous book, and I'm so excited about it. A man who lives to help the dead meets a man who died, then learned how to live. Yeah, okay. I love books about death or like death personified. That's something that really works for me, so I have very high expectations for this one. So far so good. I was nervous, but we're doing okay. Even if we do have a lot of vowels. I am going to play It's going really well. Part. That's all I'm playing. I didn't say I was good at this game. Part is kind of a weird prompt, but I'm happy with what I came up with. I'm going to be reading something that is part of a series, and that is These Violent Delights by Gong. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in 1920s Shanghai, and I've heard that it's very intense and like gory, which is actually something I really enjoy in books. So I'm really looking forward to it. The sequel just came out, so if it's good, I can binge read it in quick succession, which is something that I don't usually do, so that might be fun. But it sounds like it's just going to be amazing. I've only heard good things about this one. More vowels. We love to see it. Oh no. I'm going to play Area, because I know that will get rid of some letters. That's on a triple letter, so 3, 4, 5, 6 points. So for this one, I kind of forgot that I was only doing 5, because you can hear me say that I wanted to use up some of those vowels, but like that was the end. So I could have played anything, but I played Area, which is tough, because the only time that you think of area is like in math. But if you wanted a book for that, you would pick The Love Square by Laura Jane Williams. And you wouldn't have paid $20 for it and forgotten to take off the sticker for like a year. Penny Bridge has always been unlucky in love, but a change of circumstances sees her stepping into a new life in a new town, where the last thing she expects is to meet a remarkable man, followed by another, and then another, and all of them want to date her. Penny has to choose between 3, but will any of them be the one? This was something that I picked up at the bookstore on a whim a long time ago, and just haven't gotten around to it, and this seems like the perfect time. This feels like nothing else will fit the area prompt, but square. Width times height, we all know that, so I have to read it. So those are all of the books that I'm going to be reading for the prompts. My additional 2 challenges every month are not met with these. So for my same month, different year challenge, I'm going to be reading The AI Who Loved Me by Alyssa Cole. This is a novella, and it's about an AI boyfriend, I think, and it sounds great. And then my other challenge is to fulfill the buzzword readathon every month. This month it's day/month/season, so lots that you could do with it, but I'm going to be reading The Christmas Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. Is that Sophie Kinsella? It has to be, right? This is the one Christmas book that I'm gonna have on my TBR for this month, other than No Exit, but I don't think that's quite the same spirit. I have heard really good things about this book. The cover is adorable, and I might as well give the Christmas spirit a try. But that is not all for the TBR, because the Merry and Bright readathon is happening this month from the 9th to the 15th. And I'm going to be participating, and there are 6 prompts for that. Some of the things on my existing TBR will meet prompts, but I don't think all of them. The first prompt is Winter Wonderland, read a book with white on the cover. That I'm going to be doing The AI Who Loved Me. Very white, can't fight me on it. Apparently there are bonus points if it's snow, but that doesn't make sense to me, because then they'd be like tiny specks of white. This is clearly much better. The second is Hot Cocoa, a book with cozy vibes, and I'm going to be reading Christmas Shopaholic for that. I just think a quintessential Christmas book, no matter what the subject matter, is gonna be cozy, hopefully. Hopefully she's not awful and vapid. The next 2 prompts I do think are kind of strange. One of them is Elf on the Shelf, read a book that you already own, and then Last Christmas is a book that you purchased last year and never read. But like, if I do one that I purchased last year, then that is also Elf on the Shelf. Maybe that's just my brain misunderstanding, but I'm going to be reading The Love Square for Last Christmas, because I bought this over a year ago for sure. And then one of these other 2 for the owned book, because at least I have some physical books on my TBR. Next prompt is The Grinch, Unreliable Narrator or Friends to Lovers, I'm going to be reading Never Saw Me Coming. I just assume that the psychopath is going to be at least a little bit unreliable. And the final prompt is Baby It's Cold Outside, a book with dual perspective. And I'm pretty sure I just quickly skimmed my copy that The AI Who Left Me is dual perspective. So hopefully that's true. And if it's not, hopefully one of the other books that I'm reading happens to be dual perspective. If not, I'm going to have to scramble. But those are the 6 prompts for the readathon. I'm going to be trying to hit all of them, though I don't think I'll necessarily do it during the week, but I will be vlogging it. So subscribe if you want to see that when it comes out. That's all from me. Thank you so much for joining me for the TBR Trials. Again, there's a link to the playlist in the description if you want to see all of the episodes. They're pretty good if I do say so myself. And remember to let me know which TBR game was your favorite, any of the books that I have on my TBR. If you have any feelings about them, please let me know. And that will do it for me. I will see you in my next one. Bye.